Tighten Up, the podcast, is brought to you by Hyperice, the leading provider of innovative technology for recovery, mobility, and improved performance. They help the Titans. They can help you too. Learn more online at hyperice.com.
Hey guys, it's Antoine Davis. Let's tighten up.
Detroit, it's time to tighten up. Welcome to Tighten Up, the podcast, presented by The Shield NIL. Brought to you by Hyperice and Last Shot Energy. A state of the Titans, the latest in Detroit Mercy athletics, and a chance to hear from Titans all over the world. Here's your host, Dan Hasty.
Happy New Year, everybody, and it is Tighten Up, the podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed getting into 2025. We sure will, and we wanted to ring in the new year and tell you we have so much coming up over the course of this 2025 calendar year. We still have a slew of episodes to go here on Tighten Up. Wanted to thank everybody that has gotten us through the end of 2024 into 2025. And do not forget, you can always get more information about all the different community initiatives that the Titans student athletes are trying to make themselves a part of and how you can help by going online to theshieldnil.org. It goes back to Davis. He's one bucket away from being the Horizon League all-time scoring leader. A left-hand dribble, a backup three. Yes, sir! Horizon League history for Antoine Davis. Tighten Up the podcast, back for another edition as we kick off 2025. It is only appropriate that we start with a bang, and somebody who allowed us so many big-time memories and allowed us so many big moments over the course of the last many, many years at Calihan Hall. And who was responsible for that? Well, Antoine Davis was. He joins us now here on Tighten Up. Antoine, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
It's crazy to have you back as a former player because, you know, we came in together and now we get a chance to reminisce on what was 5 years in that building and in that career. So before we kind of dive in on all that, how are you? Catch us up on what life has been like for you the last year and a half since you left Detroit Mercy.
Life's been life, just basketball, same stuff, just getting into it with the new team now. I was with Rip City last year, and now I'm with Stockton Kings, and just getting acclimated to the way they play now. They kind of run some of the similar stuff that my dad used to run, all the split stuff and everything. So I'm meshing really well, and they like getting up a lot of threes and stuff. So it's just, I fit in real perfect with this team. We got some good guys over here too as well. I mean, it's just been really, I haven't been up to much. I come home, basketball, go to work out in the morning, practice everything, and then that's just my day. And then come home, play the game or watch TV with my girl and my dog. And then that's really it. That's how my day is go.
And how are Emily and Milo?
They're doing good. Milo's somewhere laying down in the corner somewhere, but he's doing good. Emily's doing good too. Everybody's good.
Now, I would assume you're still doing 1,000 shots a day or something like that. What's the routine look like?
Well, because one thing about being a pro, like, even though, with my dad, I always got shots up and stuff, but like now it's like we just had practice today. We had practice at 10 a.m., 10 to about 11, 11:30. Then you go and do what you got to do, ice tub, stuff like that. And then from now till tomorrow when we have shoot around, I don't have anything to do. So I have so much free time. 24-hour access to a gym, 24-hour access to the gun machine. They have coaches and stuff that help rebound if you want to get a workout in and stuff. So, I mean, it's cool. It's just like it feels like I'm at home back in Detroit just doing the same stuff, just minus my dad not being there. So
gonna say, didn't they let you have like a key to the building back when you were with them?
even you know, it's funny when I used to come in there late at nights, like my freshman and sophomore year, they used to give me a little trouble getting in there sometimes because, like, you know, normally they don't like you being in there after like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They shut it down. So, and when I used to sleep in the gym, that was like the only time that like it was okay.
Time out. Did you actually sleep in the gym?
I slept in the locker room.
Did a janitor ever wake you up?
I never saw. You know what's crazy? I never saw one. And one day I was in there and I just got real freaked out. It was like late. I thought I was here. So I just went home and I never slept in the locker room again after that. But I went like a good solid, like, I think 2 weeks for sure, like just going in the locker room. Because my dad was trying to make us do all these shots during the summer. And, you know, I had to do the most shots out of everybody. So I had to get up like 3,000, 4,000 shots, something like that. So I was like, I'm not even going to go home. I'm sleeping in the locker room and do it from there. So that was the only reason why I was sleeping in there for the most part.
So you were doing that during the summer. It gets hot in that building.
It does get hot. It gets hot. I had a fan that, you know, the big fans that they have sitting on the outside of the courts.
Yeah.
The 4 fan, I used to take one of the fans and put it in the locker room.
I mean, you clearly knew your way around. I mean, if you're going to do it, that's the way you do it.
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it.
Oh, I mean, I know that you obviously have a lifetime of memories in that gym. And I would imagine that pretty much everybody in the G League has a story about a successful college career. When people ask you for your story, how do you tell it?
I mean, you know, people look at it. Some people can look at it differently. I mean, I look at it like it was just a blessing, like, you know, just being able to play for my dad being a head coach and my brother being an assistant. It's like you don't see that at all. Like, you know, you'll get the player's son, but not player's son, brother's the assistant coach, and now I'm the dad senior, the head coach. You know, you never really get that. And, you know, I never took that for granted at all. Like, I have like you said, endless memories from the first game against Western Michigan to the last game to the to just everything. I mean, I'll never forget my experience. My college experience was great. Then just being around like great guys, like, you know, transitioning in from team to team. Every year we had somebody different. It's just like meeting different people and then trying to get something to work out. I mean, we just, you know, they counted us out a bunch of years there. And I felt like other than probably like my sophomore year, I felt like we really achieved as much as we possibly could have. And I don't take that for granted. I love Detroit Mercy. I love the city of Detroit. So that'll always be with me. I will consider Detroit family like forever.
Weigh the pros and cons about the dynamic you had being the coach's son. How's that helped you to your experience now?
Just really, it helped me from a work standpoint. Now, like when a coach gets on me, I just don't think of it any type of different. I just say, yes, sir, move on and stuff like that. I brought an approach to, my dad always taught me to be a good practice player and like never take practices too light. So every practice I go into, I try and work as hard as I can. Talk the most since I'm the smallest one. I am the smallest one on the team. So I try to talk the most and just do all the little things that like I did in all our other practices back in Detroit.
You weren't necessarily the smallest one on the college team, but you're probably one of the smaller ones in the G League, are you not?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely am.
But you're still getting your shot off. I mean, you led the G League in threes last year. I mean, I would imagine that you probably have done a lot of what you set out to do in that league. Are you pleased with how it's gone?
I am. I mean, I never take this opportunity for granted. I love being in the G League. I love I was fortunate enough to be on two teams where it's like it's not really fit. Some G League teams are not like, they don't show a lot of love to the G League players and stuff like that. But the two teams that I've been on, like this team and Rip City, they've actually like, they showed love. The coaches are really good. I've loved both coaching staffs that I've had from Rip City to Stockton. And so I'm in a really good I've been in two really good situations, and a lot of people in the G League would be like, that's a great thing, because some people don't even get a really good opportunity in the G League. So,
and not everybody gets traded in the G League, and to be traded means somebody's got to want you. You ended up getting traded from Rip City over to Stockton. So take me through what that felt like.
But me and the GM are really cool. Dan, we're cool. So it was a mutual thing. I mean, it was understanding. I mean, he said they're bringing in people, and I might not be able to play, but we're gonna put you in a situation to where you're gonna play and do the same things that you did here. And so I was like, I didn't like it at first, because I love Portland. Like, I spent the summer in Portland. The weather in the summer is really an underrated place to be during the summer. Like, going to the ocean side and seaside, the little resorts and stuff over there. I mean, Portland's really nice, and I didn't really want to leave there. I really wanted to be in Portland for as long as that I possibly could. And Sacramento's not bad either. I actually really like Sacramento too. So I'm just getting real comfortable with everything still. And yeah, that's just really it.
I heard that Portland also has one of the coolest airports in the country. Is that true?
It's gotten better too. Like, because it's funny because we play Portland in 2 days. So, or not 2 days. We play them on the 5th and the 6th, back-to-back games. So I have to see what the airport looks like now again. But they were like this summer, because I was flying in and out of places, going different places, and so Portland was like home base. So when I fly back, I could see that they were like doing different stuff with the airport, and it looks really, really. I guess it's supposed to look really, really nice now. And they have like the little green carpets in there. Like the Will Finch told me that whenever I go to Portland to see the green carpets, it's like the ugly carpet or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. So now Sacramento, that's a place that looks like they might have a Major League Baseball team over the course of the next couple of years. So it looks like you guys are not going to be by yourselves over there. Major League Baseball, you'll have an NBA team nearby. So now when you talk about the G League, obviously this is year 2 for you. I'm sure you thought about going overseas. Most people in your situation do. That's usually the 2 options for players like yourself. So if you can, break down those 2 options as you saw them and why you went the route you did.
Well, I always wanted to be an NBA player. I always wanted to, like, that's something you grow up wanting to do, especially if you love playing basketball, and I love playing basketball. So that was like a major thing for me, was to wanting to make it to the NBA and just at least give it a shot at any risk. And like, I'll probably do this another year or 2 of G League and then go overseas or something. But I really wanted to give this a shot to just to see if I could make it on a 2-way or something like that. Because normally once you get into a team and you get a 2-way, 2-ways normally stick around in the NBA for a long time. So I really wanted to give that a shot and a chance before I went overseas.
And if I remember last year, you were on what was called an Exhibit 10 deal. I'm not sure what your situation is this year, but if you can, explain what an E10 deal is for those people who don't know.
I mean, I barely even I barely even know what it means too, because it varies differently. So like, I think if you come in on an E10, you do the training camp, and then you'll be on the G League team or whatever. But some E10s, I think you can actually play like 10 game. Like, some E10s you can guarantee 10 games in the NBA. And I don't know if that's the one I think I'm on the different. I just had the E10 for the training camp, and I'll stick and play with their G League team and stuff. So it just is, some E10s are different than others.
How often do you see people and cross paths with different Horizon League players in this G League?
It's funny because last year and we're really good friends now and stuff too. Because after he did all the fouling and stuff to me in my freshman year, I see him all the time. He's a really good dude, loud and love. I see him so much, and he's with the Capitans, and we played them in Mexico City this year. So I'm gonna see him again. But last year he's with Memphis, and he's still sending them big old screens and just rolling to the rim and dunking and stealing and fouling and everything. He's just he's a bruiser down there, and it's still effective even in like the NBA and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It was just good to see him stick around and playing and stuff too.
Yep, there were some memorable games against guys like Loudon Love. When you think back, what are some of the most memorable games that you think back to during your years at Detroit Mercy?
Oh, there's so many. Really, just I definitely never forgot that 48-point game against Wright State my freshman year. That's something that's been with me. Just too many. I could think of a couple. I just all the memories that I got to have with all the different teammates I've had over the years. That's like something that I made brothers from just being with those guys over the course of that year, and then the next year meeting a whole new group of people and doing the same thing again. Like I still talk to all of them for the most part. Like I talk to Bo every day. I talk to Keith every so often. I just talk to them, just check in on them and see how they do and stuff like that. Like just college in general, being on the basketball team in general, I made so many memories on and off the court with them. And it's like something I'll just never forget. Like, I don't know. I could just think of, I have too many to give. I don't even know where to even start from with it.
Now that you've gone through it, how did you change as a player, as a person? I mean, 5 years is a healthy career, and there's a lot of guys who did that, especially because they had the COVID year during that time span that you were playing college basketball. So many guys, especially even now, because they have that extra year, are playing that 5 year. And it's also because NIL is so prevalent right now.
Yeah.
If you have that extra year, like guys are taking it now. But you had the chance to really take those steps forward as time went on. So how did you notice yourself growing and changing?
I just from freshman year to my last year, just the growing up and adapt, like being a leader and everything. Cause like being a point guard or even shooting guard, regardless, like if you're a scorer or the whatever, the team looks at you a certain way, like the leader, then just like being that leader. And it took years. Like I knew I wasn't going to be able to be a good leader going in my freshman, sophomore year, because I mean, I'm 19, 20. I barely know myself. I just know what my dad wanted. And I know I was the only one that could like tell the other players how he has stuff and how he does stuff. And so just with that, just building myself and just becoming a better leader. And it's really helped even here, like just, I really didn't say a whole lot my rookie year. I mean, we had people like, we had Mo Harkless. He was our vet on our team. And then you had other people that are just like, the older guy, they're more experienced. They've seen this and stuff like that. So just soaking everything up, soaking it all in, just all the information and everything just to help me be a better leader. And like, it was really good, like mentorship from that standpoint. It's helped me so much even now, like it's helped me a lot.
What's the difference between the mentorship of a coach, like having your dad, and a guy on your team that's been an NBA vet?
Well, the difference is when your dad's the mentor, if you come down the court and you shoot a floater, he's not gonna make you run for it. And my dad, I'll never forget that practice. He made me run because I shot a floater. And then when we went to go play UIC, he told the dude was like, he was like an NBA guy. He was an NBA scout. He said, what you need to incorporate in your game is a floater. And I looked at my dad like, you made me run for shooting floaters and stuff like that. So, just that's a difference in itself. And then like you said, I mean, like Mo Harkless, he's been in the league for a long time. He's seen it all, and he just really helped our mindsets going into practices and helped our mindsets going into games. Like, you're not going to be able to do certain stuff at the next, like with the NBA that you can do in the G League. Like the G League and the NBA are two completely different things sometimes. And, he just helped, like, and when I wasn't playing and stuff, he helped get me through like because I've never experienced not being able to play, like not playing at all. I've never experienced that before. Mm-hmm. So, just getting keeping my confidence through that. I mean, he helped me with everything. So it's just a blessing to have good vets around. And that's another thing for G League. Certain G League teams, certain vets don't like the new people coming in. So I'm fortunate enough to be in two spots that the vets like you.
Are you shooting more floaters now?
Yeah, I am. I am. He doesn't even get mad at me as much. And it's crazy too, because last year, like when we would play a game, I shoot a floater, I'd miss it, it'd be short. He would always text me and be like, "You still shooting the floater, blah, blah, blah." He'd always mess with me because he always used to he would only like me shooting mid-range jumpers, like from that area, not shooting floaters. So he's like, "You should just shoot your floater. You should shoot the mid-range more than you should shoot the floater because your mid-range is better than your floater." So I just had to start working on it more and just incorporate it more into my game.
He can't make you run anymore, can he?
No, he can't. Yeah, he can't make me run anymore for it, so it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now.
And that does it for part one of our two-part conversation with Antoine Davis. Coming up a little bit later in the week, we get part two of this conversation with the greatest scorer in the history of Detroit Mercy basketball. And coming up in that conversation, we'll talk about coming up so close to that record of Pistol Pete Maravich and the all-time scoring record in college basketball. We'll also talk about Caitlin Clark and, of course, the late Earl Curitan. Much more to come as we continue our chat with Antoine Davis. In the meantime, make sure you visit theshieldnil.org. And that does it for this edition of Tighten Up the Podcast. You can find me on X at @DanHasty, on Instagram at @DanHasty. And I'll talk to all you Titans of industry next time.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Tighten Up, the podcast. Join our community at The Shield on theshieldnil.org and follow us on X and Instagram at theshieldnil.
If I can tell you one thing above all else as part of this show, it would be this. If you're unfamiliar, if you haven't done it before, join the community at The Shield Online. It's online at theshieldnil.org. That's theshieldnil.org.